Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M44, the Tier 6 American SPG, and this one is located on the north spawn of Malinovka, and it's under the command of Knightsmin's R322, I think it is. It's quite a name. Or Knightsmin's 3R22. And battle has commenced. Well, the M44, it's a 155mm gun mounted in a pivot mount, which gives it a very wide field of fire, as you can see there. It's on the chassis of the Walker Bulldog, the M41, so it's actually quite fast. And he's knocked over a couple of trees to actually provide him with some cover from the enemy. This is a standard battle, and I could hear some destruction there. There's a P26, Tier 4 Italian medium. Dialing in. He's fired, round out, and he splashes the P26 for 171 hit points, which is quite good. Now I've got an M8A1 who's gone to the forward position to spot for the team. It's normally what you would expect from a light tank, but it appears that the light tank on our team, which is a Panzer 38NA, has had other ideas, and he's gone up on top of the hill to look down on the enemy over the lake. We've got a 20.3 second, is that 20.3 second reload. He's not using premium consumables. He might not be using a rammer. Normally an M44 would have a reload of about 16.1 seconds if you have BIA, a rammer and premium consumables. So 20.3 seconds on the reload is actually quite long. Okay, he's dialed in on that target, and he killed that P26 stone dead. That's the same one he fired at before, and this time round he wiped him out. There's another P26 over there, or is that the same one? Oh, it might be. There was two P26s on the enemy team, and they're both been, well, one of them has been badly damaged, the other one was wiped out. But he's got a kill anyway. Now, Tiger 131, that's a Tier 6 Soviet premium heavy. And he gets a direct hit, 88 hit points. This is more like what the M44 can do. 155mm shell delivered accurately every, well in this case 20 seconds, but every 16 seconds on the enemy, doing about 200 hit points of damage or thereabouts every shot. And that can be very devastating to the enemy. Type T34, it's the Chinese version, and he splashes in for 166 hit points there. And you see, this is what the M44 is famous for. It's one of those arties that can be absolutely devastating to the enemies, round after round, damaging their tanks, blowing them up. Puts a round out on that one, going to the north, and I'm pretty sure he got some splash there. Now there are two Arty, there are two Arties on his team. The other one is a 105 Le FH-18B2, the Fifi La Piu Piu. And he's located only a short distance away. In fact, he's over there, and he's knocked over two trees whilst moving about. Now that would give the enemy a clue as to where you're located, and you shouldn't do that really. Try not to knock down any scenery. Leave no trace of where you are so the enemy can't work out. Okay, right, he's looking down range and he's found a Skoda T40. He's being lit up by that Type T34 who's in the dip. Fires a round in. It was near where the Skoda was last seen. He's looking for another target. And the Skoda T40's popped up again. The Type T34 actually made his way up the slope to spy on the Skoda and got sight of him again. Okay, work out where he's going to be and place the round there. He fires the round in, and he gets a direct hit. He worked out precisely where it was going to be, but he's now changed his aim. He's going after the Tiger 131. He's coming down the hill from the east, almost ready to shoot. Work out ahead how far you need to lead the target, and fires the round out. Unfortunately, the Tiger 131 was tracked just before he fired, and so the round actually landed in front of him, quite some distance in front. And more rounds are hitting that Tiger 131, but he's now gone unspotted. And the nearest enemy, nearest teammate we've got is the Striv M42. So what you need to do is you need to pull back your view to the view range of the Striv, and hopefully the Striv will spot him, and then hopefully we'll be able to fire on the Tiger. It's awkward in moments like this where the enemy's getting close to you. You have an urgent need to hit him, but you don't know where he's gone if he's unspotted. And the Striv's pulling back, and there's the reason why. The Tiger 131's getting closer, and there's a Type T-34, and he fires around it. Unfortunately, it misses, and the Striv has now been killed as well. There's now only a T-67 between them and the Type T-34, but the Type T-34 is taken out by the T-67, so the threat has diminished. But the Fifi's changing position, and so is Nightmins, I should say. Right, there's a Su-85 behind that house. We can't hit him, he's in cover. There's currently a 2-tank DAT gap, so we are doing well. Oh, and the Su-85 is moving, and he's moved around to that corner. We can now splash him, and the round goes long and over the top of him, and so we don't do any damage. The Skoda's getting close. The T-40's come up the dip. He went along the same route that the Type T-34 went after disposing of him. And it looks to me, yep, the T-67 was right next door to the Arty, which is not a very good move for the Type 67, because T-67 rather, I should say, because he could easily be wiped out with a counter battery shot. He fires a shotgun there at the Skoda because the T-67 was interfering. I can see that the Fifi's close by as well. In fact, the enemy, the P-26, is coming up that side from the south, but he's going to have to relocate because the Skoda T-40 is just getting too close. Now there's only one tank in it. Now he's knocked over a tree again. And again, that's, if you see a knocked over tree like that, you just aim for the base of the tree, and normally there's somebody hiding behind it. And so it's a very bad thing to knock over a tree, use it for cover, because it's just a signal to someone. Here they are right at the base of this tree, fire there. And that's precisely what he's doing at the moment. Now he's aiming where the Skoda was last seen, but he may not be there. In fact, I think it's almost a certainty he's going to be in the trees just slightly to the left. Well, our M5, the only scout that we had in the game, he's actually moving now forward to try and spot the enemy. The T-67's moving further north towards the lake area, and the Fifi's moved slightly south towards the tree line. We just lost the T-67, so somebody spotted him and killed him. It was the T-40, which tends to indicate, yes, that he's in grid square B2, and I think it was the T-67 who was indicating that, so the M5 probably is going to be within view range of the Skoda T-40. So we're now aiming in grid square B2 to see if we can spot him. Here comes the M5 Stuart, so he should spot the T-40 any second. That's the premium Czech medium, the T-40. There he is. He is there. He moved actually into grid square B1, and he's being fired upon by the M5. We're aiming, round out, and it's a hit. 261 hit points, and he's taken out the game by the M8A1. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. The P2640 has moved south, and he's got to the corner of the map at K3. He doesn't want to go around the corner because there's an Su-85 guarding the base. But that Su-85 is the sole remaining tank destroyer. There's two enemy Arty still in the game, an AMX-13 F3AM and a Fifi, the FH-18B2. Now he's fired around at the corner. It doesn't appear to have hit anything. We're guessing that the Su-85 is still where he was last seen, which is the house that's slightly to the left of the aim point at the moment. Okay, it's loaded. There's the Su-85. He went over to the windmill, and we just lost our P2640. But we're dialing in on the Su-85 and rounds out. And it hits the windmill. That's very bad luck. And there's a round from the Fifi just landed on the ground next to him. Now, supposedly he will still be there because the M5 Stuart is spotting for us. So, we're marking our target. Yep, the M5 Stuart's still firing his volley of 5, and we fire a round in behind the windmill. This time round, the round goes exactly where we expected. And there's the enemy Fifi. He's been located. And he's right by the water's edge and knocking down a tree, which is obviously giving away his position, but he is spotted. And he's taken out the game by our M5 Stuart, who fires off his volley of 5 shots. Which means now there is only one Arty, one tank destroyer. And we just lost our M8A1. The enemy AMX-13 got him. Now we are supposing that the Su-85 is still behind that windmill by virtue of the fact that if he'd moved, the M5 Stuart should be able to see him. And the M5 is firing again in that direction. Firing around to the other side of the windmill, which lands precisely where we aimed it, but still no results. And the M5 Stuart needs to be careful, because yes, the Su-85 did relocate, and he didn't spot that. And he's now next to the building, and he's been taken out by the M5 Stuart. Okay, so that means there is only one enemy remaining, and that's the AMX-13 F3. And if he's located in these woods areas here, he's fired a round in blindly as he's on the move. Unfortunately, that's not going to do any good towards the enemy, or towards for him. The chances of him hitting a target on the move, just firing wildly like that, are infinitesimally small. But there's the enemy. He's been located. He's in that bush there. In fact, it looks like a tree knocked over. Oh, and he just shotgunned the M5. And our round goes in, but it's too late to catch the AMX, who's on the run. And he did stun him, but now it's 2 RT versus 1. The AMX-13 F3 is quite fast compared to most other RTs. But its speed is similar to the M44. So it's shotgun time. Their view ranges are about the same as well. There he is. And he's fired his shotgun and he's failed. And that means now he can accurately aim, and he fires around him, but unfortunately he's not accurate enough. But the good thing is that even though he took his time over that aim shot, the AMX-13 F3 has actually got slightly longer reload than the M44. And the AMX is trying to come in for a face-to-face shotgun, but I think that, yes, he shotguns the AMX first, and he's wiped out immediately afterwards. In fact, actually, I think he was lost in battle because he fired his own round at the wall and it blew himself up. So that wasn't a kill for Nightmins. In actual fact, it was the enemy killing himself by mistake because Nightmins shotgunned him, tracked him, slewed him around, and he blew the walls. So yes, he did load before the AMX and managed to get a second shot in. So, look at this. It's a third-class tanker for Nightmins in the M44. He also picked up a Bruiser Medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 10. A High Calibre for getting the most damage in the battle. And a Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by other teammates. And the win rate was 2,880. So, a very good battle in terms of earning points. So, let's have a look at team score. Well, he got the highest damage on his team, 1,572 hit points. The next highest score came from the Tiger 131. He did 1,452, followed by their Type T34, 1,157. The Fifi managed 896. He was second highest scorer on Nightmins' team. But when it comes to kills, it was the M8A1. He managed to get 3 kills. The Fifi managed 2. So did T67 and the M5 Stuart. I'm afraid Nightmins only managed 1 kill, but that didn't matter because he won the game with that last shot. Managed to get the AMX to kill himself. And in fact, actually, the AMX was the highest scorer on the enemy team. He managed 4 kills. And as we if we click on that name, we can see, yes, destroyed by shot. Gallinet 87, which is his name, which means obviously when he spun round and fired that shell at the wall, he actually blew himself up with the process. So very clever shot there by Nightmins, but I'm sure Nightmins would have preferred to actually get the kill. And if he had actually not hit the M44 when he did, I think the AMX when he did, the AMX would have shot him at close range, and then he would have won that duel. But it all worked out well in the end. So let's have a look at the XP. And of course he was the highest on XP, 653. Not enough for an ace tanker. You need a lot more for that in the M44 because it is such a widely played Arty. The next high score was the M81, followed by the KV2, and finally the Fifi with 434. Nightmins fired 21 rounds, got 4 direct hits, 4 penetration, 8 splash. Damage of 1,572 hit points, of which 1,322 were at more than 300 meters. Obviously the AMX was much closer when he fired his round in. He got hits on 8 of the enemy, only killed 1, so there was a 7 difference, and that's how he picked up the Confederate. He did damage to stun assistance damage of 239 hit points off 11 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 34,223 credits, and after ammunition reload, he took away 23,618 credits. He got 22 bonds, 2 for the one for the High Caliber, 1 for the Confederate, and 20 bonds for a mission completion. And that means he also earned 979 XP times 4 for the first victory of the day. So he took away 3,918 experience points altogether. So it's quite a lucrative round for him in terms of credits and XP, and as well as bonds as well. So congratulations, Nightmins. Very thrilling round right there at the end, and it could have been so different if you had fired a moment later. The AMX probably would have fired his round, and I think you probably would have both wiped each other out at the end, and that would have just left the Fifi as the overall winner for your team. But firing when you did actually did save yourself, because you actually slewed him round and got him to kill himself in the process. So not so good that you didn't get the kill, but good that you did save yourself from being wiped out and get the repair cost. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.